How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Adrock from QueueTimes. I am back with another expansion's worth of dungeons that I promise to finish this time. Here we go! We're gonna go check out Temple of Sethraliss real fast. As always, every time you do a dungeon, here are the basic dungeon knowledge requirements. I hope you know this by now, because you've probably been playing this game for way too long like I have. 1. Don't stand in the fire. Please. Seriously. 2. Dispel your mates. Be a cool guy or girl. 3. Interrupt when you can. And 4. If we're not talking about it, tank and spank. It's pretty easy and straightforward, nothing too crazy. First off, on your way to the first bosses, you're going to run into Charged Dust Devils. They have a healing surge, which is a long enough cast time to interrupt, so save and interrupt your stuns for this. They will heal for a lot. A lot of, shaman things going on here. The Sandswept Marksman will have a power shot that is uninterruptible, but will pierce all players between it and the target. Honestly, just sidestep it if you're not the target. They also will have a neurotoxin, which will target a random non-tank player and put them to sleep if they move while affected for 5 seconds. This is dispellable. The Sand Fury Stonefists have a ground and pound that's uninterruptible, burst damages and knocks all players back in 30 yards slightly. Casters and healers, just make sure to stay as far away from these guys as possible. Kinda hard with the corridors, I know, but try best. The Shrouded Fangs have Blade Fury. This is also uninterruptible, a very common theme in Temple of Sethraliss. For 8 seconds, they have increased attack speed, and their attacks will chain to nearby targets within 5 yards. Everyone not the tank should stand back as far as they can. I know melee DPS is a problem sometimes, but this will help you avoid as much of the splash damage. The 3 packs around Adrock and Aspix can be safely avoided, but honestly, someone's probably going to jump back into them, or whatever, blink into them, so just kill 2 of the 3 packs to make your life easier, in case you have to move around a whole lot more for this current fight. Now with Adrock and Aspix, it's a one-phase fight, but you do fight them simultaneously. They do not share a health pool, but they cast different abilities if Lightning Shield is active on them. DPS should focus attacking the boss without the shield, as it works the same way the Shaman Lightning Shield does. You hit it, it hits you. Healers will not like you for doing this. At 100% energy, the shield will swap to the other person, but luckily the shielded boss will be immobile. The tank should stack them as close as possible, though that way Cleave can be passively hitting the shielded boss. Jolt and Gust are just spammable abilities they'll do throughout the fight, so interrupt it. It's the only thing you can do. It's just annoying. Your healer will thank you later. Aspix, when it's shielded, has Conduction. Cast at 50% energy, it hits a random player, and after 5 seconds will burst the target and damage anyone within 8 yards. If you're afflicted, just stand out of the way. Static Shock will also happen if it's shielded at 100% energy. This is unavoidable. It's a giant Nova that deals a large burst of damage to the party. Healers, when you see this, make sure you top off the group to mitigate the damage because it hurts. On Heroic, he'll also cast Arcing Blade, damaging all players in 15 yards. Damage is split, so forcing the group to stand close enough so spread the damage. Don't have one person just take the whole thing. Adrock's Cyclone Strike is uninterruptible and it sends a wave of tornadoes. They hurt. Move to the side or behind Adrock to avoid the brunt of the damage. He'll also cast a Pearl of Thunder. At 50% energy, it's a 3-second cast, it's uninterruptible, and deals damage to everyone in 15 yards. Just back up. He'll also cast Arc Dash, dashing to a random player, damaging anyone he moves through or next to along the way. Kinda like the power shot from earlier. Spread out when it's cast to reduce the chance of getting hit. On Heroic, he'll also cast Gale Forces, selecting a random player and they'll channel a pushing wind. It is annoying, it does little to no damage, I believe it does no damage, but if you did not kill the packs on the side, guess what? They're joining the party. And now that Adrock and Aspix are done, deal with these guys. The Scaled Crowlusk Rider has Noxious Breath. It's a cone attack that applies a 9-second poison dot to everyone hit. Tanks, flip them around and put them away from the group. You'll also deal with the Venomous Ophidian, which has a Cytotoxin. Tanks are poisoned for 6 seconds, dispel this when you have a chance. Now onto the Sand Crusted Striker. They're annoying because they have that damn dust cloud. Every attack made in it and into it and through it, anyone inside it, it's all evaded. It's annoying. Kill them first, kill them fast, because the less of these things you have to worry about, the better. You cannot just disappear them, you have to move them away. Now getting close to the second boss, you have to deal with the Faithless Tender. They have a greater healing potion, which is just like the earlier healing wave. Interrupt this. It's faster, and you'll have them do it much more often than the healing waves from earlier, and they heal much more. This will kill any momentum you have, especially in Mythic and Mythic Plus, and will overtake the party if it's not dealt with. The Crazy Incubators have a Stone Shield Potion, which reduces the damage by 90%. Luckily, it is interruptible. Move away from lightning in a bottle instead of interrupting it, because save that for the greater healing potions. They'll also cast Ferric Blast, which self-destructs and damages everyone within 10 yards. Interrupt it if you can, if not, back up. Both the Faithless Tender and the Crazed Incubator will cast Drain on a nearby egg if they're near full health. You cannot do anything but hard CC this because if it completes, they'll heal for 50% and increase the magic damage they do by 30. And now, Medaktha! It's a one-phase fight with adds. First off, you have the Noxious Breath, you kind of saw it earlier, but here's the twist. It'll happen to a random player and leaves behind toxic pools, which don't stand in the fire, that deal ticking damage. Please move. Your healer will thank you. Blinding Sands will also happen, which will blind and disorient all the players that look at him for 5 seconds. The game will tell you, turn away, do it. Don't be that guy, that girl, that elf. Just don't be that elf. Finally, at 1645%, Merektha will burrow under the ground and become untargetable for 30 seconds. If she runs into you, you get knocked back, so please be mindful of your positioning during this bit. Every time she burrows, 4 venomous Ophidians will spawn, and they'll pretty much just pick him up, tank him and spank him, burn him as possible. You have 30 seconds, go for it. On the second burrow, Sandcrusted Strikers join them, and if I didn't tell you before, kill them fast, because the dust cloud sucks. On Heroic, you'll also have to deal with a Knot of Snakes. Merektha will cast this on a random non-tank player, which will stun them for 15 seconds and they'll take ticking damage. It really hurts and can quickly burn someone down. Focus on the stunned player, and if you have a hard CC or have some really good teleportation movement, like say Blink or Imprison, you can get out of it. You cannot Shimmer though, so Blink or Shimmer, take that for what it's worth. After you're done with the giant snakes, it's always got to be snakes, right? You have to go into the lightning round. Ding, 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 ding. Here you're going to deal with characters like the Agitated Nimbus, who will have an Accumulate Charge ability. It gives them a 50% magic damage buff for 1 minute. Interrupt it if you can, or better yet, if you're a mage, Spell Steal it. It's really powerful and cool. If the accumulated charge goes through, the Agitated Nimbus will cast Release Charge. It is uninterruptible and deals damage to everything within 40 yards. It'll also remove the accumulated charge, so they kind of just do this back and forth of accumulate, release. You'll also deal with Imbued Stormcallers. Basically, they have Call Lightning, you'll see Swirls, and Move. Don't worry about interrupting these guys, save it for the Nimbus. Here's the fun part. These Loose Sparks, these goodness gracious great balls of lightning. They'll knock you back, they'll knock you way back and do a nice chunk of damage. Go slow, they hurt. Don't bother leaping, don't bother dashing, don't bother life gripping them, because you're just gonna get knocked back. If you can, teleport / blink, Warlock Gate, whatever, that works. Now you're going to deal with the Static Charge Dervish. They'll mark a random player and teleport to them, dealing damage to everyone within 5 yards. Look out for the loose sparks that also come with them. Honestly, these guys are more of a damage and problem for the healer than the rest of the group. And after all these guys are dead, Galvazit appears. This is a one-phase encounter where Galvazit gathers energy and players need to deal with the beams that energize him and make him stronger. Throughout the fight, these energy cores will spawn and beam energy at him, like I just said. At 100% energy, Galvazit will deal damage to the entire party and reset his energy to 0. It's not that big a deal until he completes the Consume charge. Galvazit will then gain a stacking 20% damage buff. To counter this, players can stand and soak the beams in front of Galvazit, which will obviously make him not gather energy, but will give you a stacking debuff which increases the damage taken. Swap out at about 10 stacks so you don't get overwhelmed or your healer gets overworked. Throughout the fight, Galvazit will also cast Induction. It's low damage, but honestly, with the stacking energy debuff on Galvazit and the stacking debuff on players, this can be a big problem for healers. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Just be mindful of how much damage you're taking from the, beams. I'm trying to pay attention to Galvazit, but really what I'm having to deal with is Welcome to Hell. Oh, this bridge. While you cross the bridge, you're slowed for 50%, and doing what I did in this video here means you're going to run into a ball and get knocked back and do it all over again. Woo. So welcome to the big room right before the end. You have to deal with Faithless Conscripts. They're not a big deal, they're just everywhere. They can hit hard, so try not to pull up too many of them, or you'll get overrun. Orb Guardians won't really attack players. However, if you have the orb you're trying to walk over to the skull of the snake, they will run into you and take the orb back to the platform it was on. You can hard CC them, stop them, stun them, disorient them, and they'll drop the ball as well. In this room, you don't want to take too much time in because all of these ads will respawn after a minute being killed, and really you only need one orb in normal and heroic, but you need both orbs for mythic. On the way to the end, you'll have to deal with the Hoodoo Hexa. Dispel the Flame Shock, just for peace of mind. Heart Guardians will hit the tank with a heart attack, which deals damage and leads to 20% damage increase for 10 seconds. This can stack, and if they spam enough of it, it can be a major problem for the team. Plague Doctors will cast Chain Lightning. It's Chain Lightning. It's Shaman Chain Lightning. but they'll also have Snake Charm. It's a 2-second uninterruptible cast and incapacitates the target for 15 seconds. Dispel this from the target when they're hit, if not, they're going to be sitting ducks for any lightning strikes. Now welcome to the Avatar Sethraliss. It is a one-phase encounter where all you gotta do is heal up the Avatar. Pretty straightforward, right? Well, you gotta deal with the Hoodoo Hexers you just ran into, the Plague Doctors you ran into. Oh yeah, and it's a healing thing, so you're not really killing a boss per se, but the healers are going to get their chance to shine here. You're going to see 4 Hoodoo Hexers happen every giant wave. When they're doing that, they'll be casting Taint on the Avatar, which blocks all healing, so you have to kill all 4 of them before you can really take that Taint debuff on and heal them up. Every 12 seconds, you'll see Pulse. As long as the Hexers are alive, it's a AoE group damage. It's gonna suck. Kill them fast to stop the Pulse for that point in time. Heart Guardians will also drop healing orbs upon death. So as you're killing the Hexers, try to save killing the Heart Guardian till the very end. That way when their life orb drops to heal the Avatar, you don't have to deal with the tank debuff, and you can take advantage of it and get the most healing. Throughout the fight, you'll see Plague Toads spawn. They'll run for the healers, exploding on contact and leaving a 50% healing debuff. This can kill the healer pretty quickly and also really just slow down your progress on finishing the Avatar fight fast enough. So if you're not the healer, take your time and burn them down. I say take your time, it's not a big deal. You just gotta get to 100%. You just repeat these steps until the Avatar's at full health. And, well, you're mostly done. Except if you're in Heroic, the Plague Doctors will also spawn with the Hexers. You saw what they did earlier, so tanks should pick them up while dealing with everyone else and roaming around. And there you go, that's the Temple of Sethraliss. No extra mount or anything cool like the other encounters you might see in BfA. But you get the nice satisfaction of a job well done. And snake people. Sounds awesome. And that's it for me, Adrock. I know I talk fast and it's a lot of information, but thanks for sticking with me the whole time. I will see you guys next time. Peace.